The Young Professionals category recognizes an exceptional OSPE volunteer who has contributed well beyond the normal level of effort and has served as an advocate for the engineering community through various roles during academic studies and immediately following graduation. This individual has volunteered their time for the betterment of engineering students and young professionals across the province. For the 2021 Young Professionals category, the honor is being given to Vanessa Raponi. At the beginning of her undergraduate degree at McMaster, Vanessa created a student group on campus to support LGBTQ students called McMaster NG Queers. The three pillars of this organization were to facilitate social connection, increase professional development, and advocate and educate external bodies. By her final year of schooling, this had evolved into a national not-for-profit organization named NG Queers Canada, which connected 32 engineering universities across 9 provinces with similar groups impacting thousands of students. Vanessa helped to personally create several of these groups across the country and acted as president and advisor of EQC for 4 years. Throughout her undergrad, she traveled across the country, presenting at conferences ranging from ESCO, CFES, and EWB student-led conferences to Engineering Change Lab, NCDEAS, NSERC, and Universities Canada professional and executive-focused conferences. In these sessions, she would present on a range of topics, from social entrepreneurship to systemic oppression 101 to strategic planning of EDI integration into organizations. Since graduating, Vanessa has continued this perpetual advocacy for marginalized people by engaging in events approximately once a month, including most recently speaking at the Ontario Science Centre, at the International Discover E Global Marathon, and supporting the Canadian Undergraduate Chemistry and Physics conferences separately. Vanessa began working with OSPE in 2017 when she provided an opinion piece on her first contribution to the Voice magazine and Society Notes blog. In February 2018, she joined the OSPE EDI committee and continued to volunteer directly with OSPE until September 2020. During this time, she helped to provide critical feedback and perspective on LGBTQ issues while supporting concurrent OSPE initiatives. Vanessa received an award of recognition from OSPE for her volunteer service during a volunteer appreciation luncheon in July of 2018. She submitted an article on microaggressions that was featured on the front page of The Voice in June 2019, and in November 2019, she spoke on a panel in Ottawa at OSPE's EDI conference. In June of 2020, Vanessa wrote an article on International Women in Engineering Day about her experience as a woman of color for The Voice. Vanessa has always been very public and vulnerable about her childhood. The hardships that she has experienced have made her more resilient and stronger. It gives her the opportunity to speak out as someone with lived experience who has been able to either overcome or live with the realities of what she has been through. She consistently receives messages after her talks from those who were able to relate seemingly unique parts of her story, which are often, in fact, commonplace things that people often don't have the courage to reveal about themselves. This bold vulnerability helps others know that they are not alone. Vanessa, thank you for the immeasurably valuable work you have done. You always strive towards making a difference. Your passion and energy are unparalleled, and we respect your spirit of volunteerism immensely. I'd now like to ask Vanessa to join me and virtually accept her award. Vanessa, you're on mute.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rajan. That was very heartwarming to hear. OSPE has been an incredible part of my journey over the last few years in volunteering and connecting with other engineers at the provincial level. I'm still in EIT, but I'll be getting my PNG hopefully in a couple months, so I'm excited to more formally enter the profession. But what I wanted to use this platform and this moment for in this speech acceptance is to really just take a pause to all the folks and the members that are here today. Each and every one of you cares a lot about our profession, and one thing we have in common is that as engineers, we have a strong obligation to society. What has been very clear is that our societal representation and our representation within the profession have not been matched for a very long time now. And people like me really represent the future of engineering. So while I'm a woman, I'm also a woman of Sri Lankan heritage, so I identify as a woman of color. While I am a woman, I am also a member of the LGBTQ community, so I identify as a queer person. This means that there is a lot of complexity to my identity and that I've faced very different challenges than the folks who've come before me have faced. So what this needs to look like for all of us and how we can each independently help with this problem is that we are all in different meetings, different rooms, writing different emails, speaking to different team members of different influence levels. That means that we each have opportunities to bring forward those who are in positions that are more vulnerable than us, people who are either younger, in lower roles, or who just aren't able to have their voice heard the same way that we are. So don't ever feel discouraged that you need to make these big, outstanding statements and big movements. It takes just every single sentence for making change. All you need to be doing is to use your voice to help amplify others. And that can look like so many different things, whether that's just sharing someone else's opinion and making sure that their voice is getting heard and that they're getting credit for the fact that that was their opinion, or something as significant as advocating for promotions behind closed doors for people who have been maybe looked over. It is the responsibility of all of us to make this imperative of EDI come forward in our profession, and I have a lot of confidence that as more people like me enter the profession and are able to be representation for others, that we will continue this tumbleweed effect and we'll get more and more people to enter the profession in a way that represents our society more effectively. So thank you so much to OSPE for all of the different opportunities and platforms. Sandro and Rajan, both of you have been great role models to me for a very long time now, and I've made some fantastic connections through OSPE over these last few years. So thank you everybody so much, and please stay connected in the future.